Well, I should have known that I was going to jinx something around here on the Rancho, and I sure did it up this time. Well, let's talk about it a little bit as we head into the orchard and pardon the sun. It's a very bright sunny day today, August 20th, but got a big problem, right? I was talking about how well the watering system had been working here on the Rancho, and it's been flawless, and the timing and the protection for the well so it wouldn't go into a runaway mode. And last night I'm sitting here outside and I'm like, I don't hear the pump. I don't hear the plants being watered. You know, the little drip system you can hear. And I go to take a look at the plants and they're starting to wilt here, and I'm like, oh wow, I did jinx it. So we got a problem now, guys. It looks like the well pump is well, at least it's not activating, and we're going to have to figure it out today. But the first thing I need to do is change out the hose from our well water supply to the city water supply, because, well, I don't want to lose my tomato plants here. Okay, ay caramba, always something when you're urban homesteading. So one thing I can tell you as I'm going to set this up is don't buy cheap hoses, especially if you have a commercial, semi-commercial situation, you know, an urban you're homesteading in the hood, or you're having a small rancho or something like that. These green hoses that you buy, these things are just crap, and they're a pain to work with. They don't hold their shape. They rot, they get kinks in them, they're just a nightmare. I'm admiring my work in the Rancho here in terms of all of the pruning I did. I don't know, this helicopter's been flying overhead all day here. But don't buy cheap hoses. This probably costs $50. It's a Continental, the same company that makes the tires. It's a true rubber hose. You can see it, probably see it marked there, Continental. And I've really been happy with this. So let me go hook this up over on the other side. I don't like to use city water because it's so gosh darn expensive here in California. Conservation and all that, but sometimes you just have to. And it is nice to have a dual source of water. I'm looking at my lovely tomatoes here. Here we go. I'm going to give these a super deep watering because they need it. Not so much the ones here, but they're looking pretty crispy over there. And yeah, I think we can save them. So this is the most urgent thing, then we'll get over it. If we have to, we could sustain. And it's only going to be about another month or so that we're going to have to worry about keeping things watered. And yeah, we still will get tomatoes through Thanksgiving. And nice ones too. So I would like to keep it going, but it's not going to be absolutely critical. So we're going to really flood these boxes. You can see over here, these have really been scorched a bit. So they're going to be some happy campers. And I got to do a little weeding too. Not too bad. These planter boxes have really been nice. And if you didn't see, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications. Here on Homesteading in the Hood, on a pretty big property to tend to and take care of here. I put up 17 pints of red sauce here. And that was a lot of fun. Well, I'm going to finish this up and we'll see you back at the well pump. Man, I don't know what kind of spider that is. That thing is really wired for sound, isn't it? Ooh. I don't know what I would do without this well pump. I could never keep this going on city water. It would be too cost ineffective. Anyway, this is a sight you never like to see when you have a well pump, and that is like zero pressure in the system, so we either just stopped pumping and in mid-flight while it was working away. I haven't seen any catastrophic leaks. I've looked around. So what we're going to do is probably with the system that I put together here, I don't know, probably something failed over here. I'm not sure. And the first thing I wanted to do was isolate the pump and get it out of the circuit here. So I ran a separate extension cord around where I knew I had a good power source, and I put it back here and plugged it in, and she's firing away here. Which is good, so thank goodness. Probably just tripped something. This thing's been working really well, and it has battery backup in it. So I can plug this back in here. Well, that's a relief, because 10 years ago that was an $800 pump there. I think we can put this back on. This was expensive to change out this tank too. They're well worth it. So, looks to be a relatively simple problem. So that makes me real happy. Let's go out front and make sure. We're going to give a little extra watering here. And I absolutely have to have this watering system. We can hook that hose back up again. Oh, look at these. They're already looking rejuvenated, aren't they? Happy tomatoes. Really happy tomatoes. Let's go out here and get a manual override. So obviously we probably tripped the breaker for whatever reason, which is concerning. Of course, you never like to trip a breaker, but there might have just been too much in there. I don't know. I always like to do a spider check. Usually a nice black widow hanging out in there. All right, let's open this up. And our time is good. Let's enter manual all. Push our button and see if that, there we go. We're doing good. I don't know what was going on with that one, but I'm soaking wet. These things have to be cleaned and oiled. I was going to cut the grass today, but I guess that ain't going to happen. But I'm a happy camper, guys. I'm a happy camper. My worst nightmare is that the pump fails, so we're going to let that cycle through. Come on, get happy. Gonna grab the old Fluke multimeter here, or multimeter to some of you guys, and I'm gonna do some testing on that outlet. Maybe a wire slipped off or something. But boy, I do like to hear that hum. Been a good season for the well water too. Because of the heavy rains we had, at least there was an upside to that. Yeah, it does look like the breaker tripped, so I asked Blackbird to reset that breaker. So hopefully we'll be good to go. I'm going to take this and plug it back in topside a little later on after this cycles through. I do need that protection up there to protect against the runaway pump. Well, that worked out okay. I spent half my days in panic mode around here wondering what's going to go wrong, or what's going to break down, what needs to be painted, what needs to be trimmed, repairs. So today I get to enjoy a nice leisurely cup of coffee and bask in the fact that I have a working well pump, and the irrigation system here will continue hopefully through the end of the season. I will keep an eye on it. Like I said, you never really know the reason why a breaker trips. Well, you know why, because of overload on it, but you know, it only has the pump on there, so I have to make sure that there's not a short or something like that. But anyway, guys, cheers. Thanks for being along today. I so appreciate you, and well, we'll see you on the next adventure here on Homesteading in the Hood in Santa Rosa, California. What are we going to do next? What else needs to be repaired around here?